We're here with another client interview today with Nazly. Um, my name is John. I'm with the Cash Swipe. I'm one of the consultants here, and we're going to be doing an interview with Nazly. All right. So Nazly, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nazly Dandrea. I started this, I want to say, a little over a year ago. I was trying to look for the exact date and I couldn't really find it. But I was looking for something that I could do that could like gain me some type of income when I wasn't presently there. And I love traveling and I travel a lot for my kids' sports. And I go to all these cute little towns and I'm always talking to business owners. And this seemed like such a good match since I'm always talking to people, anyways. So that's essentially how I got into this. I saw a video, I couldn't even tell you when, but I saw it and it piqued my interest. And then I started looking more into it and I felt like it could be a good fit for what I was looking for at the time.
Okay. So really quick, you said you travel a lot, and you travel a lot for your kids' sports. What do your kids do for sports?
So we live in Queens, New York, and
Hmm.
the main thing we do is soccer. We do travel soccer. We also do travel basketball, but soccer is the main one. Like we go places you can drive, like Virginia and like Pennsylvania. We've flown to Arizona and South Carolina and Florida. So kind of in that realm. So my soccer player is 12. I have two girls. One's 12 and one is 9.
Love that. And for being a traveling parent for travel sports, it's a lot because my
Oh
my
yeah.
daughter's travel ball for softball, and it's
Okay.
early mornings, getting those snacks ready, taking off to make sure you get there to warm up, and then you have to
Yes.
play those three. Like for us, it was 3 games. I don't know if it's the same with travel ball
It's
and
different.
soft.
It can range from one game to two or more games depending on if it's a tournament or not. But they love to drag out soccer, so it'll be like one game a day.
Have you ever seen those posts when people are like, "Oh, it's on either Instagram or TikTok. It's like you're here at the travel ball game, but you're hoping they lose so you don't have to go to the next game." They make it as a
Yeah.
joke.
Let
Like,
me
please
tell
don't
you,
win.
it's funny, but it's not funny. Then I'm like, guys, we have to want them to win, right? And we just
Yeah.
went through that because if our girls would have made it to the finals, we would have had to go to Portland. And part of me was like, oh God, I hope they don't win. 'Cause
Like, please
they
win,
didn't.
but
They
no.
didn't. I know they didn't. I feel like I don't want to say I wished it to happen, but unfortunately they didn't make it. So the season ended for them. But I totally agree with those memes because it's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a 100% a lot. It's a job and an extra because taking care of your kids is already another full-time job.
Yeah.
But all right, so and then to go back to like how'd you first hear about Cash Swipe slash Paul Alex? Like,
I think I saw Paul Alex on Instagram. I
hmm.
think that's where like I initially saw him. He was probably like doing a reel. I think I watched the one when it talked about him having a background being a police officer and then kind of like how he got into it. And I watched a couple of his and then I joined the free group. And then I
Hmm.
would listen to a bunch of like these free like testimonials and just, the basics of it. And the more I heard about it, the more I was like, oh, I think this is something I can do. And essentially how I got here was I looked at I think they call it AML or the online, I forget what it's called. I looked into something that didn't work out for me, but it like brought me to this. It piqued my attention into like trying to make money online. And then I found Paul Alex, and this was kind of like a blend of the two. It wasn't necessarily online, but I found him. It was affiliate marketing. That's what it was. Okay, so I was looking into that at first, and for some reason, this jumped on my timeline, and I was like, "Oh no, this is something I can really, be passionate about."
Did you try affiliate marketing?
I did briefly, and I realized I'm not a very good like social media person, which is something that I'm trying to strive to do better, especially with this business. I'm much more old school in the way that I just like to talk to people and see you face to face or have a phone call. So I tried affiliate marketing shortly and it wasn't for me. I pushed myself, I tried something new. It wasn't for me. I felt
Okay.
like I was like selling something that I didn't make a difference. And with this, I was like, this is making a difference in business owners' lives and in the communities of these businesses because we need these small businesses so our communities can thrive. I don't love the whole big corporation things. And I love Target. Who doesn't?
Mhm.
But we don't need any more Targets. We need like mom and pop stores that actually serve the community. So I like that it's tied in both of those things.
No, 100%. So what made you start looking for like another source stream of income?
I always known that I didn't want to have a traditional 9 to 5 forever. I was
Hmm.
fortunate enough when I got pregnant with my first daughter. I was fortunate enough that my husband just supported us, and I didn't work for 10 years, over a little over a decade. I was a stay-at-home mom, and I loved it. I would do little things here and there, but I knew I needed that flexibility. It was very important to me to have a work life balance and more of like a life balance because I wanted to be around.
Hmm.
I knew very early on, when I first tried to go back to work, that I didn't want to do it. I was like, I'm going to work and then give my paycheck to someone else to watch my kid. It just didn't make sense to me.
No, 100%. Being a
Yeah.
stay-at-home, especially for 10 years, that's a full-time job. There
Yeah.
is no days off. It's 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year.
Yeah,
It's
for sure.
wake up to attend. The only peacetime, and I know this firsthand because my wife, she tends to our kids. It's constantly always on the go. The only
Yeah, it never
downtime either
stops.
that, yeah, they're at school or they're sleeping.
Yeah, and even when those happen, every time I saw that nurse phone call from school, I was like, "Man," because you already know, like, something's going on. And sleeping,
It's
my kids used to love to wake up in the middle of the night. They still kinda do
mhm.
sometimes, so it's really 24/7. But it was,
No,
like, the best job I never really got paid for?
it's funny when it's like a minimum day. You're like, oh, you have a minimum day today? Like, oh man, like you already have your week planned out.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah.
So going back to you being a stay-home mom for 10 years, what
Mm.
like I just kind of answered the question, but like what made you want to get back out there? Like, you know what? I want to do something for myself.
Oh yeah, obviously financial freedom, was a big factor for me. And I went to college, I have a master's, like I have all those things, but I always knew that I was never going to be the person that like wanted to go into the office every single day. So that's really what pushed me. I knew that I needed to do something on my own. I needed to be an entrepreneur and at least really give it a good effort. And at first it was a struggle because, it's hard to get out there, especially you're just cold calling, which I didn't love. And going into businesses, at first it's hard because you want to say these things, but it's like
Mhm.
awkward. But you just gotta honestly do it. And sometimes, there's been those instances where I've had those openings and like stepped back from it. But I take it as a lesson for the next time, right? Because I realized right away, like, oh, I should have said this. It could have led to this. So I think as you try to step more out of your comfort zone, it comes easier just to like blurt out, like
No,
an idea or just introduce yourself, because the worst they can do is like ignore you, especially in New York. They're either gonna like be really friendly or be like, okay, and
I, I haven't been in New York. I heard it's a strong personality out there.
there's a lot of nice people, but there's a lot of strong personalities and a lot of kind of like, are you talking to me? Like, are you like, because then I'll be like, I'm talking to you, and they'll be like, oh, I'm sorry. But
And
not so much in the small towns either. I live in Queens, which is
mhm.
closer to Long Island. So like I'm a lot in Long Island. I do a lot of work in Long Island and it's more of a slow pace of life. So it's not as like hectic as the city.
Now he's on the go.
Yeah. I mean it's hectic, but it's not like Manhattan. It's not like Midtown.
And you said something. You said something right now. You said that when you went to the business owner, you could have said something different, and it would
Mhm.
have possibly turned out a different way. But that's
Yeah,
normal. That's part of the process. It's repetition. The more you do it, the better you get out of it. You're not the only one, and I'm
exactly.
pretty sure a lot of people's been there. I'm gonna say this. I say this to a lot of the people that I talk to. Is there's gonna be a time where you drive up to a merchant and you're all hyped up like I'm ready to go, and then you stay in your car for like 5-10 minutes and then you leave.
Yeah. Yeah, listen,
Pretty much
that
it happens to
happens.
everybody. Yeah, it
Yeah, or
happens.
you have the best of intentions. You're like, "Oh, I'm gonna do all these places this week." And then the week's over and you're like, "I did not do that." But, you know, I think acknowledging it is number
Mhm.
1, and then working on it is number 2. It's
Yeah,
not
accountability.
quitting.
It's
Accountability is key.
discipline. So for you, okay, so you tried affiliate marketing. Did you try anything else before you started the credit card business?
Um, no, I mean, I will let me say I'm not gonna say no. So at the same time that I started this journey, I've always been interested in real estate. I've done interior design here and there unofficially, like while I was staying at home, I would do some interior design work. So I've always loved that as well. So I've been looking heavily at the same time into like studying like tax liens and deeds and acquiring properties that way. So I'm also doing that, still actively doing that. That's something else that is just like, you have to find the time to do.
Hmm.
Obviously takes, I think, more time than kind of this business, because it's just more research heavy. So I guess that's like where my two passions lie right now is doing the real estate thing and this, but this is more of the forefront because I can do this every day and it's kind of like you have to, you know.
No, yeah, you have to. You have to, stay in contact with these business owners. Give them the solutions that we're providing for them, and
Yeah.
and then to go back to when you first found us, you found
Mhm.
Paul or you found Cash Right. Where we found us first, like when you first came across us, like were you a little skeptical?
I was a little skeptical, of course, it would be naive not to be.
Hmm.
But I think what changed it for me was just the reliability of it. Like, if I would call and ask questions, someone would answer. If I would email, someone would answer. So, like, the transparency made me feel comfortable, not like I was going to sign up and I was going to be like alone, because that was like my main concern. Because I think with
Hmm.
the affiliate marketing, that's kind of like how it happened. Like, they hold your hand for this much, and then it's kind of like, okay, you're on your own. And it's kind of like, okay. So this definitely felt differently. And now being, in it for a little bit, I have to give like an ultimate shout out to the tech group because I know I bother their lives, but they always, I even wrote down their names Marcos, Gustavo, Jordan, Diana, Vivi, Joey, like all of them are amazing. They're really always there for my questions and my merchant questions because some merchants have a lot of questions. They have,
Hmm.
they want to know a lot of things, and I don't know everything. So, what really is amazing about Cash Swipe is that there are people that know way more than me. So I'm like, oh, let me just contact my team and I'll get back to you. I was on a call today with, I think, Marcos and one of my merchants about their Clover, and he explained it well because I'm like, I can't explain it to you, honey. I was like, I don't know. I don't want to give you the wrong information. I think I get it, but I'm not a tech person for this.
Yeah, we're
So,
100%. We're big on support, and you're having the support. It's a big part of this because
yeah,
there's companies out there that just sign you up, give you some instructions, and you're on your own. And
yes.
like you said, there's a lot to learn. I'm still learning. You're still learning.
Oh yeah, every day you can learn something different.
And with these guys, they have so much experience. They know the ins and outs, and like you said, they're there for you. They're not there
Yeah,
just, oh, here's another question. No, they're there to break it down and help you in person. Well, not in person, but it was literally over the phone, breaking it down for the
over
Clover.
the phone. Yeah, and even sometimes at the weekends, obviously you guys aren't available, but there's an answering service. I sent an
Hmm.
email, and Monday, like I'm on the East Coast. I know they're on the West Coast for the most part, I think. And like I had an email at 8 in the morning my time.
Hmm.
So that's like super early over there, and I appreciate that because it gives my merchants like reassurance.
Yeah, it's a peace of mind.
Yeah.
So talk to me more about like when you first started, because what was like your first few days, first
So
few months, first month? What was that like
first few
for
days, first few months, I definitely could have done better, done more. You have kind of like that paralysis analysis going
you? Hmm.
on, and you're like overthinking, and you make your hit list and you do all these things. And I literally had like these legal pads full of notes from all like the stuff, right? But then like actually going there was hard. I'm not gonna lie. Like I might have took like 2 months to like I cold called right away, but like
Hmm.
physically going somewhere took me like 2 months. Like I would go in stores and like chat them up, but not say anything about the business.
So what do you
You
mean? Wait,
know,
wait. Let's stop right there. You went to the business.
I would go to the
I'm gonna
business,
talk about the
be a
business.
customer. Yeah, I'd be because I'm a customer anyways.
And then,
And and that's it. And I would just not, I would be like, okay, bye. And that was it. And I'd be like, that's not what we were trying to do.
but that's okay. That's okay. That's part of the process. I'm pretty sure you're not the only one. 1,000% you're not the only one.
Yeah.
And then so if you guys didn't catch that, she went to the business, going there to talk about the business, but
Yeah.
end up just being a customer. It's okay. I've been there. Again, I'm gonna tell this story every single time. I drove to a business. It was a dog groomer place. Hyped. Sat in my car and I left. I
Yeah.
was like, I'll come back tomorrow. It happens.
Exactly.
It's okay. You're not the only
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
But
no.
how many times did that happen? Like, did that happen once? Did it happen
I
twice?
know it happened. It still happens. It's life because it's kind of
Mhm.
like too. I know I'm trying to push myself every day, but some days I don't feel like it. Some days I might look, not. I'm like maybe I shouldn't like try to go talk to people while I look a little disheveled or whatnot. So I would say like it's an ongoing thing for me. Does it happen all the time? No, because now I think another big thing that I've done that has helped me is I've joined networking groups. I've put
Mhm.
myself out there. I've gone to the chambers around here. I joined the networking group called BXB Pro Exceed, and that really has helped me come out of my comfort zone. We do these things called 30-second commercials every
Mhm.
single meeting, and you literally stand up for 30 seconds and you talk about your business. So that really like made it click for me to how to like try to say the best things about this business if I
Yeah.
only have 30 seconds with you. Because a lot of, especially if you're not talking to the business owner, they're kind of like, I don't know what you're talking about, the machine. So it has helped me really hone in on my pitch and be more confident in talking about it and actually getting to see the business owners'
Mhm.
faces and building those relationships versus going into their business and like seeing whoever is working there, at the time, because sometimes they're not in there. So I think I was watching one of John Serbia, might mess up
Rob.
his last name, Sarabia.
Okay.
And he was talking about the importance of like trying to go to networking meetings and pushing yourself. So that like that started me going, and I went to one and I met this woman named Garnet, and she is a State Farm. She has a State Farm business. And she introduced me to the BXB Pro Exceed thing. So it was like baby crumbs. I went to this meeting, I met her. I met her, I went to this one. And from that networking group, I've got a couple of merchants and access to all these brilliant people. And it's a great group. They're a great group of people. Everyone is very nice, very smart in what they do. We have everything from like lawyers to like med spa owners to real estate people. So it's a lot of connections. And I think that's important. So if there was one piece of advice I would give is to really get out of your comfort zone and go to these networking things, even if it's painful, if you have to go by yourself, it's kind of awkward. It's kind of like, the first day of school and you don't know anybody.
Mhm.
But I feel like it pays off. And, I feel like if it doesn't make you a little antsy and uncomfortable, then it's like boring.
No, 100%. And we talk about it daily, and it's if you're comfortable, then you're not growing. You need to get comfortable
Mhm.
with being uncomfortable in order to grow. And
Yeah.
that's how you're just gonna take that, you're gonna take that next level. And going to those, those meetups, networking events, it puts you in
Yeah.
an uncomfortable spot for you to, grow, which is
Yeah.
great. And I love that you're doing that 30 seconds. We call it elevator pitch, 30-second elevator
Yes.
pitch.
They call
I
it a
don't
commercial, which
commercial,
at first I
but
was
it
like, "What?"
you know,
I was like, "You're gonna
uh,
film this?" They were like, "No." I was like, "Oh, okay."
it's a different way, creative way to make it more
Yes.
comfortable, make it more fun. So I
Yeah.
don't want to put you on the spot, but can I hear it?
Oh, man. You did put me on the spot. Okay,
It's
listen, don't
okay.
I
It's just you and
I
I.
could yeah, okay. I literally have it written on my notes, but I'm gonna try just to give you the shortest version.
Mhm.
So I say, "Hi, my name is Nazly Dandrea, owner of Elevated Merchant Services powered by Payvotics." What we do is give business owners the tools to elevate their payment processing. I'm all nervous. Payment processing systems so that way they can keep more of their profits. A lot of business owners don't look at their statements, they don't know their numbers. We provide complimentary analysis so you can see if you're getting the best merchant service provider. And I always, what did I say? Something else. Hold on. I say something about because I'll read it every time. See, I'll read
Mhm.
it and I'll read it and I'll read it and I'll read it and like I'll stand up and I'll just say it like from the memory. But I
Yeah.
say something to the effect of that every business has payment processing and every business needs to get paid, right? And it's important to know your numbers. So I ended with a question: do you know your numbers? And that usually gets their attention because they're like, no, like I have a lawyer who I'm going to look at his statement. He's never looked at his statement. He's just kind of assumed it is what it is. And
Yeah.
I'm still not surprised. I still am surprised at the amount of business owners who've never seen their statement nor know what they're paying.
Yeah.
Exactly.
A lot of these businesses just think that's the normal, and they just
Yeah.
think they open a business, they have to sign up for a credit card processing,
Mhm.
and they have to pay these fees. And really
Mhm.
quick, for everybody that's watching, if you guys liked her 30-second commercial, hit comment, love it, because I see some hearts. I see a lot of hearts.
I appreciate it. It was a little bit of a mess. I think I should read it so you guys should
No,
hear the good one.
they love it. They're loving it. So
Thank
perfect.
you.
But just to go back, yeah, business owners don't know, even though
Yeah,
the
they don't
information
know.
is out there. The information is out there, but when you come to them, they're just like, "What? Like, there's another way? There's a better way?"
Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah,
like this.
there's a better way, and I always in the pitch too, I always say, "And if you're great where you are, I'll let you know that." Like, what I
Mhm.
want for your business to do is thrive, because your business thrives, the community thrives, right? I always make a point to say that, like, I'm not trying to sell you anything. You can buy systems from everywhere. What
Mhm.
we provide for you is education and support. You call me, you text me, I'll get it squared away. You're not calling, an 800 number. I'll call it for you, and then when I get someone on it, I'll loop you in,
Yeah.
That's what it comes to. Um, but yeah, it has really helped me. And as you
And
can
that's
see, still growing, still trying to get the commercial
yeah,
down.
we're getting better, 1% better every single day.
Yeah.
And to add to that, it's that's something that's big that we talk about because we're a local agent for these business owners.
Mhm.
Because the normal process is someone goes in them, they sign them up where they're paying these fees, and then they forget about them. They
Yeah.
you know they you can ask them like, hey, when's the last time you talked to your guy? Though most cases they'll be like, I don't know, I don't even know who it is,
Mhm.
or if even it's the same person. I haven't seen him since he signed me up. Like
Yeah.
really, like how? And then that's your foot in the door to how's like, well, how's everything going for you? And they can
Yeah.
either say it's bad, it's going somewhat okay, and then for you to provide a solution for them and hear you out.
No, yeah, I
So
definitely agree. And then just to touch on that, I think an important thing too is like I'll text. I'm a big texter. I will text my clients randomly, like, "Hey, just checking in. Let me know if you need anything." And I think that's important, because I want to be top of mind for them, and there's some clients that I'm pushing to do additional things for their businesses. Like they want websites. I'm like, where are we on this website? We can get your gateway on. So I think it's important to keep in touch with your clients and to see what other products you can help them with,
mhm.
that can help their business.
Yeah,
So
you're giving them,
I definitely always stay in touch.
so you're challenging them as well to do a little bit more. That's
Yeah, I'm
awesome.
like, you can do better. Like, I have one that I'm trying to get to do gateways on their websites. One has a good website, but has no
Hmm.
gateway. So it's kind of like you have to like call them anyways. I'm like, you have all these prices here, but you can't even buy them. He goes, yeah, I know. I'm not ready. I'm like, okay. You know,
You're not ready yet. We'll get you
he's
there.
not ready yet. I said, yeah. So, but make sure when you're ready, you let me know so we find something compatible for your gateway. you know,
Well, look, well, so far, so since you've been doing this, and I'm go back to when you first started. So I'm let's bring back some memories.
yeah.
Was there ever a time when you first, I'll say first month, maybe first 2-3 months, was there a time where you're like, what did I get myself into?
Sure. I think first day, you sign up and you're like, shit. You're like, now, I'm sorry for cursing. Now,
It's okay.
now I've done this. Now, I have to follow through. Literally, first day, I was like, oh my gosh, it wasn't like buyer's remorse. It was just like, now what? Like now you have to like keep going. So I would say first day. And you still get those moments of what are you doing, but I guess not as much now because I think the networking has really helped me
Hmm.
understand what I'm doing and like be more confident in what I'm doing. And just knowing that I don't need to sign up every business I talk to. What I need to do is make a good personal connection because you never know where that connection can lead you to. So I'm always just trying to be authentic because I think that's super important and just trying to meet new, people, smarter people than me because that's all I've ever been looking for. I'm like, I need to find a room that I'm like not the smartest person in by far and then I know I'm in the right room, right? Because I feel like the day I stop learning is, what are we doing? And that can be in different aspects. Like from this networking group, I've helped my parents with like their finances. I've met a great financial advisor. So it's
Yeah.
like different branches of my life are getting better because of this, stemming from like this one thing, you know.
Yeah, putting yourself out there and you're taking
Mhm.
advantage community that you have access to. And we talk about this big because you're putting yourself in front of people who have businesses who have the opportunity to to take advantage on what you have.
Yeah.
So as far as how you been taking advantage of the community, the clients only community, like have you been networking in there as well?
I need to do better with that. I will say that again. That's another. Sometimes, I had a little trouble with the school app, and that was on me because I had too many accounts. I don't know how, but like I kept getting like knocked out of it and then put back in it.
Hmm.
I definitely need to take more advantage of that community. I do watch a lot of like the replays of like these things and Paul Alex's things, and those are always helpful. Like I have tomorrow's John Serbia's one,
Okay.
Saravia, because I have some questions about a client that I have. So I definitely need to do better being more consistent with that.
What do you think it's like holding you back? Because there's a lot of people in there. A lot of our clients are in there, and they're there to help everybody out.
Oh yeah, listen, they are. I've posted questions there and I've gotten answers. So it's not like I know it works. It's just more of like me remembering to do it. One. There's only so many hours in the day, and as much as I'm like I'm gonna do this, but I think one thing that I've been noticing is if I'm on like Instagram scrolling and it's like 10 minutes, I'm like I could have used this 10 minutes to scroll here. You know what I mean? Like I
Hmm.
just need to fix my mindset to try to be more productive when I have,
So
like, these snippets of time.
what does your day look like when you plan like, hey, I'm gonna go out there and start talking to business owners? Like, what does that
Mhm.
look like for you?
So usually, like, I'll come up with either an area around here
Mhm.
or my hit list of places that I've wanted to get for a long time, and I'll just start out with the big ones. I've been trying to get, a catering hall for a year. I had my, bridal shower there, so I make sure every time I go there, I mention that I have my bridal shower, that it's in our neighborhood. Have I gotten that one? No. Do I go consistently? I'll go and I'll see like this old little Italian man who's always there, but like no one's ever in the office.
Mhm.
So I don't know how they operate. I think I'm gonna have to pop up on like a Friday when it's more busy, just so I can like meet someone face to face. But I'll just try to get an area, or I'll say I'm gonna do this block today. I'm just gonna do one block and I'll park and I'll just do one block. Even if it's going in there, introducing myself, I'll, try to look around, see what kind of machines they have. Sometimes I'll make comments on it. Sometimes I'll just introduce myself and just say I'm from the neighborhood. I just wanted to give you my information. Um, is whoever is in charge of the merchant services around that I could speak with is usually what I'll say. And I recently got kind of a warm lead that I have to go back to from a liquor store, only
Mhm.
because when I was done doing this, I went in there to buy wine and she was scanning it and it wouldn't work. And it was like super old. So then I just was like talking to her about the scanner and I was like, oh, like a dated machine. And we got to talking about it. And she was like, yeah, I hate it. It doesn't work well. She goes, it's really old. And then I was like, okay, that was like the one instance that I was like, oh, well, let me tell you what I do. And like gave her my
Perfect.
part of the flyer. But there has been times that I just like say nothing and be like, bye. So,
And that's
um,
okay.
yeah. So like we started talking and I made her, like a proposal. And the owner's like it's an elderly man. He's like in his 90s. And so she was like, let me talk to him. And I was like, all right, let's see. So I have to like follow up with this. But I went there like two times. and now I have to see where they're at. And that was just like at the end of one of, you know, me trying to go out and talk to people. And I also try to make it a factor if I'm going there repeatedly and I
Hmm.
haven't said something, like it's always in my mind, like you have to like say something, you know? Like for instance, my daughters go to physical therapy for sports injuries. And he offers card payment, Zelle or Venmo because of the fee. And I
Yeah.
know in my mind, like I have to say something one day. Have I yet? No, it's on the list. It's on the list.
You know what's funny is I just talked to someone today, and they told me that they go to I don't know if it was, I think it's a chiropractor,
Mhm.
and they just told me that the chiropractor is changing back to checks. They don't take no card or anything. They're going to check.
Wow.
I
Paper
was
checks.
Yeah, I was mind blown, mind blown. It literally
Wow.
today,
He
and
must
she was
have
like,
had like a really bad experience to go back to checks.
yeah, I'm just like, damn, that's a perfect. Just like that's just crazy. It blows my mind because I haven't seen a check since I haven't been back in my T-Mobile days. We used to take checks. I used to work at
Yeah.
T-Mobile, and we used to scan checks. But when we used to come in, I used to hate it because it's a whole process. But anyways, to go
Yeah.
back to this chiropractor is going. She told me she is taking checks now because they don't want to deal with the
The
fees. They don't want to
machines,
deal with.
yeah.
It's just crazy. I was like, well, this is a perfect opportunity for you to explain the cash discount to them.
Mhm. It is a
But people are
perfect
taking
opportunity.
drastic, like they're just like they don't want to pay these fees. It's such a big pain, especially in the economy we're in today.
I know. And you know what's funny too, that I find a lot of like, I don't want to say a lot, but a couple of the mom and pop staples, at least in my neighborhood, of like
Hmm.
these delis that have been around forever and everyone goes there, like they're making crazy bank a month, okay? Because I know so, but they don't want to do any of the fees. He's like, I would never charge my clients a fee. I'm gonna eat it. And I'm like, okay. So it's like the total opposite. They're like, never, I would never charge them. I'm like, okay. I was like, you don't have to. We do traditional too, you know?
Hmm.
I was like, so that's another one I'm still trying to get.
Well,
Um,
I'll give you a gem. It's an easy way to transition. Like, okay, it's like, well, let me ask you, how long you been in business? Say they
mhm.
say 10, 15 years. How many times have you increased your prices? And he's gonna be like, maybe
That's a good
countless
one.
times. They're like, okay,
Yeah.
so what's the difference from you increasing your prices or passing on that fee? Well, I'm passing on the fee. So, well, look at it this way: you're passing on the fee, but you're keeping the when it's time to increase your prices, you keep it the same. Now you're staying more competitive, and you don't have to increase your prices, and the customer doesn't have to pay the fee; they just pay with cash.
With cash, yeah.
The business owner
I
will be
like
like,
that one.
"What?
I'm gonna put that. I wrote it down. I
Good."
like that one.
So everybody watching, hidden gem. That's a gem for you guys. It's
Yeah, no,
easy
for
way
sure.
to, yeah, because you just got to point out the like, hey, businesses have increased their prices countless times because of
Mhm.
multiple different reasons. One, their inventory costs a little bit more. Two, they see their value in their business, so they know people are going to pay. What's this any different? You're just passing on the fee. You're keeping more money in your pocket, and you're staying competitive. So it's a
Yeah,
win-win. You don't have to
it
like
is a win-win.
some business owners will be like, well, I don't want to raise my prices for my like. You don't have to. Just pass on the fee. You're giving them the option to
The
do it.
option, yeah. Yeah, they've been in business for, like, 70 years. Like, it's
Oh
it's
wow,
a long time.
hit them with that. They'd be like, oh, like you know what? You're right.
Yeah, and I'm more you know, part of me was like, you know, you can make it a better client experiences. You could have client appreciation day, customer appreciation day, and he was like, "I don't know," and I was like, "I'll come back when it's not so busy." So I go there all the time, you know, I maybe like 50% of the time I go there, we'll have banter about it, and then the other 50% I don't say anything, right? So I'm still it's another one I'm still working on, but I do appreciate that gem. I'm gonna use it.
Yeah,
I'm
and then
gonna
again,
use
just word it how you what makes you feel like. Because again, this is something we talk about as well. It's always like the way I say things, the way you say things, the way someone else is saying things. You can't say exactly the way I say it. Just make it your own. Just take
Yeah.
pieces of it to make it your own, and it just comes out naturally.
Yeah, I'm
So
gonna get cold cuts tomorrow. I'm gonna tell him. I'm
love
gonna
it.
tell him.
All right, and so now, like, what is like your future goal with this, or your next milestone?
My next milestone, I really wanted to close like 10 accounts by my birthday. My birthday's in January, and that's like my nearest goal for this business is to close 10 accounts, which I think is like a good number. It's not a crazy number. I think it's a doable number.
100%
Um,
doable.
yeah. But I'm really focusing on like medical offices, Medispas, plastic surgeons, like that's really where my focus is now. Because
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, but people be putting all the stuff on the credit card. Okay. I have friends that literally have gotten work done and the whole thing, $20,000 on the credit card.
Yes, that's also a hidden gem. You have to think
Hmm.
outside the box, and I
Yeah.
tell people I talk to, like, yeah, think outside the box, like cosmetology, the girls
Hmm.
do Botox, they do all these different
Ex
things.
Yeah,
They're
even
gonna pay for it.
eyelashes. The
Yes.
I do my eyelashes, okay, and they're moderate. I pay $100. That's, like, on the
Mhm,
low level, but you can pay up to, like, $300 around here, and that's a pop, okay, and they're full all day, every day, 7 days a week. So, like, you have to figure they're averaging thousands a day,
mhm,
like, tens of thousands each day. So, like, I always encourage, like, anyone who's listening to this or will listen to this, think outside the box and also think about what you do personally. Like, where do you spend your
mhm,
money? Because that could be a great segue because you're already a customer or at least familiar with the business in terms of like the cost. And you can go in there with that knowledge, or you could at least go in there and be like, "Oh, I'm just wondering how much are your eyelashes here," and talk them
mhm,
up. I have a nail salon that I'm trying to get. It's super fancy. Just because I've always wanted to go there. It looks so beautiful. It's like it's beautifully decorated. That got me in the door. Will they be a client eventually? I don't know, but it's the type of client I want, because clearly around here, there's nail salons everywhere. Like you're gonna find three on a block and they're still competitive. But this one being a higher end one,
mhm.
it's on a different level. It looks like a spa in there and it's just a nail salon. It's amazing. They give you free drinks. I'm like, this is crazy, at least
I
for this neighborhood.
I I love that what you said. Think about the places you spend your money at, because
Hmm.
yeah, that's 100% true. It's where you're spending your money. There's
Yeah,
opportunity there, and you know somewhat of the pricing because you go there often, and you know what
exactly.
services that they're offering.
Yeah.
And to bring up another thing, a lot of these businesses that are eyelashes, nails, a majority of them don't like to take card for the processing fees. Some of these
Yeah.
are still cash only, and this is another thing we could bring up. And again, another gem for you guys. When you approach a business that's a cash only business, and then obviously they're going to tell you like, hey, yes, because I don't want to pay these processing fees, X, Y, and Z. But when you tell them like, hey, I understand that, but you could do the cash discount where you don't pay these processing fees. Two, it's a service that you're providing. I'm gonna give you an example. For it was a boat company. He does detailing for boats, cash only, and he was giving me back and forth pushback, and I was telling him like, hey, he's like, well, think of it this way: you only take cash, so people that want to get their boat detailed, they want to get like all these fancy things. It costs money, and your services aren't cheap. They're like
Hmm.
$500,000 to like $2,000 $3,000. But if people have access to a credit card, what does that mean? They have access to more money. What does that mean for
Hmm.
your business? Is going to get access to more services for them paying, because now a person's like, okay, I don't have 2,000 cash, but I have $2,000 on my credit card. So their sales will jump up at least 10 to 20% more because now they're taking card. That's another thing
Yeah.
you could give these business owners, like, hey, just because you don't take card, you're losing opportunity.
Hmm. You sure are. You sure are.
And
And not everyone walks around with cash like that at all.
yeah, yeah, who wants to carry their bank account in
Yeah, I'm
their
like,
pocket?
no, yeah.
And
That's a great gem.
the same thing with like a restaurant. Like if and I know if you they're like a favorite, I'm gonna just say pizza spot. It's a favorite pizza spot. They're cash only.
Mm.
You're on your way home on a late night and you're just like, I want to go to our favorite pizza spot. And then you look at your husband like, do you have cash? No. Do I have cash? No.
No,
I
yeah,
don't want to go to the ATM. I'll just go another day. That means
exactly.
that business lost opportunity because they don't take card.
No, yeah,
So
exactly. There's a gyro truck on the highway here that is delicious. Okay. We love it, has the best gyros around here. And they were cash only for a long time before I got into this business. And then they started taking cards. But what I noticed is that what they're doing is they have two prices for the card and cash. and they have a fee. And I like had this whole discussion with him how it's not necessarily legal for him to be doing that. And he was like, "Yes, it is." I said, "It's not," you know. And I'm just trying to like talk to him. I was like, "Listen,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get in a fight with you." I was like, "I'm trying to help you out." I was like, "I'm not." I didn't even tell him what I did. I was just telling him. I said, it just seems like you're surcharging, and you're not supposed to be doing that. And he was like, "That's not what I think I'm doing." And I was like, "Okay." But now I know at least when I see him in particular, because there's two brothers
Mhm.
that run it, we can continue this conversation because, like you said, we used to not go. We didn't have cash, and I still won't go because I refuse to pay his fee like that. Only because he's definitely surcharging. It doesn't make sense. Like the prices are different, and he adds a fee. So I'm
Mhm.
like, I don't understand. If it's like $10 for cash, but use your card is 12, and then you're charging 4% on the 12. I'm like, I was like, it doesn't make sense to me. And he was like, it's legal. I said, I don't think it is. you know?
That's another thing. It's they're charging more than the actual what the percentage is, and
Mhm.
it is, in situations you can't charge more than what the actual processing fee is, because then you're making a
Yeah.
profit. So
Exactly. I was like, "You're making profits off the difference." He was like, "No, I'm not." I'm like, "All right." I was like, "I'll see you next time."
but all right, that's we'll talk about that another day.
Yeah. Mhm.
But to go back to your commitment, I didn't forget about your commitment. So you want to do 10. You want to sign up 10 more accounts before your birthday.
Yeah.
You said January, right?
January 20th.
Well, I think you could do it faster. Honestly, I could think you should be able to do it in 3 months.
3 months.
I'll
Write
challenge
that
you to do it
down.
in 3 months.
3 months, 10 accounts.
So
I
that's
like the challenge.
and we'll do something special for you. I know Paul's watching in the back, so we'll do something special for you
Well, the
if you hit.
pressure is on.
Yeah, we have it. We have this live, so everybody sees it.
Everyone's gonna know.
Okay, and then so going back to you, so when you compare yourself when you started back then to where you are now, like what has
Yeah.
changed?
Um, I feel like my mindset is more of where I was trying to get it then to now, you
Hmm.
know, because and I obviously know more because I've been committing myself to watching these videos, rewatching the videos, emailing, driving the tech team crazy, um, and kind of like not being so hesitant to ask questions of things I don't know or to research things I don't know. I think that a big difference of it is just me forcing myself to at least try. I want to
Hmm.
say that I'm giving it 110%. I don't want to like sit back and be like, oh, I kind of like half-assed that. Oh, again, sorry. But um, I think that's the big difference. Like when I started, I was kind of more like, I wasn't, I was thinking about it more of like I was alone in this and I just had to like go and try to do everything on my own. And I think what I've learned in this time is that one, I have a great team behind me. And two, if I continue to put myself out there and just follow, my intuition, I'll meet those business owners and I'll meet those connectors, as you would call them, and people that will really lead me to signing more clients or meeting more people that will be beneficial to my life and I can be beneficial to their life. Because I think a big thing too that I've learned is to be of service, and that has gotten me I've always been a helpful person, always done that all my life, but really trying to be of service in a business has helped me because it's more of like, well, how can I help your business? Like, let me tell you what I do. How can I help your business, even if it's not anything connected to do with my business? Because I could still be a different avenue, right? Like I said
Hmm.
before, I used to do interior design. I had a friend of mine over who's a mortgage broker and is helping someone I know with their mortgage. And she came to my house is where we had the meeting, and she loved the design and asked who designed it. And I said, I did. And she was like, oh, I didn't know that about you. I have this friend that I think you should meet. So I have like two possible design jobs coming off of this one thing. And it was just me just trying to help other people connect to people that know more than them, because I'm like, I don't know about mortgages or the stock market or all that stuff, but I know great people that are experts in it, people that I trust. And you build that trust over time. I'm not going to sit here and say, like, you meet one person and they're great. You have to feel them out. I'm a big vibe person. I'm a big energy person, and I feel like I've followed my intuition this far, and it's gotten me in a better place. And I think it's only gonna, go better from here.
I love that. Lead with, trying to help people instead of just trying to give them something that, just shove it down their throat. Then that's big on
Yeah.
this. Again, we're not trying to sell them anything. We're offering a solution to their
Hmm.
problem. Their problem is they're paying these processing fees. They're paying these fees every single month. It's a big burden, and they just don't know there's another way, or they haven't met anybody that's explained to them exactly how it works. And lead
Hmm.
customer service. Go in there and do, just talk to them. Be a customer. Like you said, you go in there, be a customer. And then that opens a door
Yeah.
for you to have a simple conversation. All right. And any advice that you will give to someone who is thinking about starting something new, doesn't necessarily have to be this, or
Mhm.
just starting anything, something new, and they haven't took the first step.
I think my first piece of advice would be to step back and do a gut check. I tell my kids this all the time, gut check yourself. How does this make you feel? Do you feel good about this? Like, do you feel nervous, but like in an excited way? Or do you feel nervous because you think it's like, is it like a pit in your stomach? Like, is it something that doesn't feel good? Like I said, I'm a big vibe feel person. So I feel like my first thing would be is how do you really feel about it? Sit with yourself, by yourself, because sometimes I feel like we need to have more internal conversations before we have external conversations. Because sometimes when you speak with other people, that can cloud what you were already thinking and it can sway you one way or another. So I think my first thing would be to just do a gut check and really ask yourself internally, will this bring me joy? Will this make me happy? Is this something I can see myself doing? And if those answers are yes, then you have your answer. If you like immediately are reserved or kind of like don't have a good feeling about it, I wouldn't do it, you
I love,
know?
I love that. Gut check yourself. And
Gut
everybody that's
check
watching,
yourself.
type in gut in the gut check on the chat.
Gut check yourself, okay?
All right. And then where can they find you? Where can they find you on Instagram? And is it okay if they, shoot you a
It
DM?
is okay. Let me tell you, I'm trying to be better with social media. I said I am terrible. I'm gonna look up my name right now because I don't know what it is. I think it's just my first name.
And can you say
I'm
it for the
serious. I'm
for the
like,
audience?
it's Nazly D. So it's just Nazly D like David. So Nazly D is my Instagram handle. And then on Facebook, I literally am just Nazly Dandrea. I'm gonna get better with this, guys. I am. It's one of the things that's on my list. I get better utilizing social media.
All right. And they can also reach you at school. Is that okay?
Yes, yes, at school is okay because I'm gonna be there too.
Love it. All right. Well, thank you again for joining us with this interview. Guys,
Thank you
um,
for having me.
so my name is John Hernandez with Cash Strike. Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel, Residual Income for Beginners, and we will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Thank you. Bye,
Thank
everyone.